So in last session we discussed about difference between parameters, filters, and we have seen couple of report items like text box, line, table, and matrix. Now let me minimize this. And we also started discussing about the text box properties. So the text box is part of tabular report, matrix report, as well as you can have, it's a separate report item is also there, which is with the name text box. So wherever in any of these, if you right click and go for the text box properties, you will get this page. And we discussed about many, and we are at visibility property. What is meant by visibility? Visibility, it will talk about whether this particular text box needs to be shown or not. Okay, or you want to show it based on an expression. There are three different options. So first one, show, will show the text box. If I give it as hide, and if you see the preview, let's see how it looks. I've selected H and color red is taken, and I'm taking all the products. You can see the column will not get hidden. The particular value, the particular text box will be hidden. So that's the problem. The look and feel will not be so good if you use visibility property of the text box. But if you want to do that, then you can use this. Okay, and this particular property is for hide the text box value. And let me delete the parameters. Why? Because I'll be executing the same report many times, and every time I need to provide the parameters, which will be a headache for me. So as our intention is not to look at what the parameters and how the parameters works in this particular session. So let me remove that stuff. I'm removing these two data sets too. Even this I don't want. Here I don't need the where condition. Yeah, I've done. So if you see, now it is good, easy. I don't need to provide the parameters. And if you see here, this is hidden. And if I set the visibility property of the same text box to show, it will show the values. For example, here I've set it to show, and if you see, the values are showing. Let me take this guy or any one product. Let's say everything coming in red, blue, yellow. Okay, I'll take this one. Mountain hyphen 100 space silver comma 44. I don't know whether it looks the same way or not. I'll do one thing. I'll take this text box, tax amount 272.00. I'm going to this text box, properties, visibility. I'm going for a condition here, expression. I told you every part of every property of SSRS can be set using expressions. If you use expressions, you can pass dynamic values. So let me show you a simple example how to hide the text box value if it is meeting some requirement, and how to show if it is failed to meet the requirement. So, and as I told you, we'll have a separate session on expressions part, mostly the next session. So if condition, if the field tax amount dot value is equal to 272 comma true comma false. This is how if condition works. This is the true part and this is the false part. If the condition is true, then I'm setting it to true. If the condition is false, then I'm setting it to false. I think it has taken the value string 272.00. Let me take a different condition. Visibility property. I'm going to the condition greater than. If it is greater than 272, do something, or else do the other part, the false part. Let's see. So you can see a couple of values are taken out, the values which are greater than 272, and you can see the remaining values are showing, right? 272, 53 is showing. This is not showing. Why? Because the value is bigger than 272. So like that, you can use expressions to dynamically hide or show a particular text box value And as I told you, this always depends on your requirement. No user wants to see a report like this with half patches. So it's again, if the user has a requirement, man, if the product is so and so, don't show the values to the end user. Why? Because the values are secret. Then you can go further, okay, using expressions. Now, I'll show you one more example. Yeah, this is fine for visibility, and when we revisit the expressions, we will have we'll see lot of examples. Now, the next property what we can set here is interactive sorting. Before going to that, let me remove this guy. Why? Because it looks awkward. So I've removed the part. Now I'm going to the interactive sorting property for products. Interactive sorting means sorting on both the sides, like either on ascending or on descending order. So if you can provide the option of sorting either in ascending or in descending order to the end user, then that is called interactive sorting. For that, you need to simply check this one. And this groups part is for matrix reports. Whenever you have groups in your report, you can click the group and you can provide based on which group you want to sort. If you have 3 groups like colors, class and products, you can select whatever you want and what you want there, and here based on what you want to sort. But in this case, this is a tabular report. You can try that grouping, sorting based on groups by taking a matrix report. Now let's see how to sort this part. I've checked this and enable interactive sorting for this on this text box, and this is detailed rows. Why? Because I don't have any groups here, and this is a table, as this is a tabular report. And sort by what? I'm applying on products, so let me sort based on English product name. Okay, let me click on OK. If you see, it is showing sorting part, ascending and descending. Okay, now this one won't give you proper meaning whether it is useful or not. You might be thinking what in which way this will be useful for the end user. Actually, you should not give the sorting part to the text box of the detailed rows. You have to give the sorting for the column so that the complete column will be sorted out. So if I check this here, and if I take this sort by as English product name, and if I click on OK, if I click on preview, you can see the sorting is set here. Interactive sorting icon, functionality. If I click this, it's sorted in ascending order. If I click this, it's sorted in descending order. So this is how the interactive sorting will work, both the ascending and descending orders. And now, first let me remove the sorting part. Interactive sorting I have set for this detailed row, which won't make any sense. Here, I'm asking the server to sort based on English product name. Let me change it to color. So I'm sorting the column products based on colors, not based on the product name. Now if you see, the black is coming first. This is not in order. This is ordered, product is ordered based on the color. And now when I go for descending order, you can see actually it is sorting based on color. It is showing descending order based on color column. So this is how you can provide different columns for sorting. And if you see, one more option is there in the interactive sorting. Apply this sorting to all groups in the data region. When you are working on groups, okay, then you can select if there is some 10 groups from this particular data set or from that particular table, all the groups that are present in the table or the data that is being pulled from data set will have the same type of sorting functionality. So this again will work when you have the grouping part or matrix report, we can say. Now let's go to the action. You have to try that interactive sorting for the matrix reports. It's very important. Just try it at home. I don't want to explain everything, which is making you guys as the most laziest people. So this is fact, even if you agree or not. The next part is action. This is not the right place, the right time to discuss about actions. Actually, when we were discussing about sub reports and drill down reports, sub reports, these actions, if you discuss about actions, it will be a very good bet. Why? Because you have to, the interview question will be like this: what is the difference between sub report and a drill through action? Drill through action you can achieve using drill through report. You can achieve using this actions page. But here, let me show you a simple example. I'm going to a URL. So I'm going to a, going to a URL. www.google.com, or you can provide your own URL. Let's say you have a column which is having URL, and if you click on that, you can get that values from the column using expressions. So let's see, I said www.google.com, and where I've said that to which one, for this one. Let me see why it is not working. I've never tried with this URL part. So now you can see it is showing a hand icon. Why? Because I have provided the full URL, that is HTTPS. You can see it here. Earlier I have given www.google.com, which will not be considered. You have to start the URLs with HTTP or HTTPS. You can see I have added HTTP, and if I preview the report, you can see there is some URL. If I click on that, it will take you to the page where it opens www.google.com. This is what I have given. This we can provide different URLs. Like if you have a employee page, let's say this is listing employees. Okay, this column is listing employees, and each employee will have a page where you will, his details, personal details will be mentioned or captured. So you can have a navigation to that particular page on click of this. So this is the use of actions, mainly go to URL action. Like this, you have different actions, like you have a go to bookmark, go to report. Go to bookmark, if you have a bookmarks defined in this report, we'll discuss about that. You can have you can go to the particular bookmark, or go to report is the most useful for most frequently used one. Go to report will give you a functionality of a drill through report. Okay, when we will discuss about sub reports, we will have a discussion about this drill through reports, as this is a different subject altogether. This is about the properties of a text box, different properties we have, and then if you see, let me expand this, let me move it to the end. Let me take a matrix report. And here I'm taking class, first one, and color, the second one, sales amount, the third one, and English product name, the third one, sales amount, and tax amount. So I'm making it as splitting this text box, sales amount and tax amount. Now let me format it. I'm not doing anything. I'm just creating a simple matrix report where I have columns class, color, and English product name, sales amount, and tax amount. I'll make this as center align using this, and I'll make these three and these two as bold, and I'm setting the properties like the one I set for the tabular report in the bottom. So the background color is the first one. Here it is. The background color I'm setting to black, and the color I'm setting to white. So before proceeding with the properties, let's see the preview, how it looks. So this is how it looks. The first one is H, color is black, red, silver, and the products that are present in the black and color, black color and level class H. Now, and you have sales, the group data, sum of sales and sum of tax amount. Now you have groups here. For each one, for each row item, for each row group, here a group is created for class, for color, and for English product name. Let's see the properties we have for the groups. You have a different set of properties for groups compared to the text box. These properties are a little bit different. So let's have a discussion about these grouping properties, group properties, and then we'll jump into the next concepts. So if I go to the group, the first page will say what is the name of this group. With this name only you will be referring wherever you want to make use of this group. And this add under this group expression, this guy will say group by. If you want to group by English product name, this is the third row group item. I have taken English product name and I'm asking the server to group by English product name. If I provide this sales amount or something else, it will group by sales amount or something else. For example, I have taken sales amount and let's see how the report looks. Can you see the difference? It is grouping by it is altogether a different report, right? It's a standard. So this time it is grouping based on the sales amount. The third part of the group is sales amount, and hence it is looking like that. Why? How can you find out that? Why it is not? How can you say that it is not grouping by product? It was, if it was grouping by product, there were so many products showing earlier. Now here if you see the H, high class or H class, black, red and silver, group item. L class, black and red is there, group item. M class, yellow and group item. And if I change it back to, so this particular property is just to say based on what column you want to group the data. The third step is I want to group the data based on these different products. If you see this 38 and 1 second, let me drag it down. Now it is now it is grouping by. See, I'll show you, I will demonstrate the same in SQL Server so that it will be easy for you guys to understand. So just a second. Connect. So you all know when you have a group by query, then the column should be either in the group by statement or in the column should have aggregating function, right? So the same formula, let me apply here. The query what we're using is, let me copy the same from the data set. So here, and if you see, these are the three different data we have. I don't want this rtrim and all. Let me remove this. We have class, color, and so on. This is grouping data, right? This is grouped, and this is sum of sales amount. This was showing as in the report. Okay, fine. Now I'm using I have aggregate function for two columns, that is sales amount and tax amount, and hence the remaining should be in group by. Group by. The first one is class and then color and then English product name. This was the first, oh, sorry, let me take this out. Okay, this was the first report we got. Let's have the same order in the select statement. Group by class, dim product, color and product name. If you execute this, first it was showing all the blanks and then black color and the products that are present in that and the data. Now If I remove this, what I've done, I've changed this group by part. I've changed the group by of the third one, that is English product name, from English product name to sales amount. So what I have to do, sales amount is the column I added into the group by. So this guy should become either first or last. Some aggregatable function should be there. Why? Because I'm using in my report. First is not a recognized function. What is the first? There is some function to get the first value. What is that? Okay, let's remove this and see how many columns you are going to get here. If you see, now that data is grouped based on first class, color, and English product name, and hence you have this many records. If you see the records are pretty less compared to the first case. So this is how the grouping plays a major role. Whatever the grouping you are selecting, whatever the group on you are selecting here will fall into the group by class. So in the first case, for the first group, you are selecting class. You see, for this you are selecting class, so it starts with class. And the second one, it groups the data based on color, that means color. And third one, English product name, so I have to give English product name, then sales. But the fact here is it won't apply the group when you pull the query. When you pull the query, when this data set is executed, it won't apply the group. First, what it will do is it will get the data, and while designing the report, while designing this particular matrix report, this group by will be applied in the SSRS side and then display the report. It won't apply the group by in the database itself while pulling the data. Why? Because the same data set is used for tabular report and matrix report. Remember, keep in mind, data set will pull only detailed data, and once the data is fetched into your data set, then this designing part will come into picture, and the grouping and whatever the conditions you have provided, everything will be applied in the report. So this is the group by option. If you see, this group by is nothing but whatever the group on, the equal query if you ask in SQL Server, it will be the group by query in SQL Server. And the next thing is page breaks. Page breaks means if you want to have any page break between what you say when a particular group is ended or started. For example, I'm going to the color groups and going to the property, or let me go to the first group, that is class. I have 3 classes information, okay, and I want to have page breaks between each class. And if I execute this report, you can see only H class will be shown on first page. This is H class information, right? Silver, blah, blah, blah. If you go to the next page, L class, even though I have space at the end, it is not showing the data. Why? Because I applied page breaks. So it will break there and it will go to the next page. And third page is having M class information. So the advantage of having the page breaks is you can have one particular values data in one page. Okay, if you go to the group properties and if you see page breaks, also at the start of each group and also at the end of each group, means I want to have page break at the starting of each group and ending of each group. Now let's see. So this is the first page break. If you go to that, this guy has a starting and page is break, and this is the ending of this guy and the page is break. So that means and this is the starting. See, for example, if you take the M class, the starting is break. That means before the page, before the value starts or group value starts, there is a page break, and after the value starts, after the value ends, there is a page break. The next report move to the next page, you can see here. So let me draw that. So if you have 3 values like this, 1, 2, 3, before and after will make sure before starting the first page group there will be one break, and after finishing this there is a break. And if I go for the next one will be moved to the next page and the third one will be moved to the later page. So the previous break for this one is this one, later page after page break is this one, you can see here. In the same way, for this previous is this one and later is this one. So this is how you can have page breaks. It all depends on your requirement. If you want to break the data, show the data in the new page whenever there is a page break. And now I'm removing this page breaks option here, and let me try to give the same for color and see how it looks. So I want to have a page break whenever there is a change in the color group item. If I see the preview, H class black, there is a page break. H class red, there is a page break. Silver, there is a page break. And I have not given this level, right? So it is started in the same break, black and red, and then this is M class yellow. So this is how the page breaks works. The most useful one, the funny part of this one is whenever you have page break. Now you have a couple of page breaks, right? Some 3 to 4 page breaks. If I export the Excel, remember this is very important option. Try to observe it very carefully. Now I'm exporting the data into an Excel, first template, and it is exported. Where is that guy? I don't know where I copied it. Let me export it again. So I'm taking to desktop. Okay. And you can see a first template is created. And wherever there was a page break, whenever the page break applied in the report, you can see the data is moved to the next tab. Wait for a second until it opens. As it is, you can see the first page break data. The first data is into the sheet 1. The second one moved to sheet 2. Third one moved to sheet 3. Fourth one moved to the remaining. The last one moved to the sheet 4. The advantage, if you have 10 countries information and if you want to show country-wise data, then you can use page breaks on the group country. So every page data, every country data will be moved into one different tab. So this is a beautiful option. Generally, it's not possible. I mean, it's a very, you need to do a lot of coding for this. But in SSRS, with the help of page breaks, you can move the data of each country or each year into one sheet in the Excel. So this is about page breaks. Let me go back and remove the page breaks and continue with the next options. The sorting. How you want to sort by? This is a color. If you want to sort from A to Z, means ascending order, it will be sorted. Or if you give a Z to A of the same color, then it will show in Z to A. The H, earlier it was black, red and silver. Now it is showing silver, red and black. So this is the descending order. And now this is a different group. Yellow, only one it has. So it is showing only one. And if you see this, red and black. And this one has only a yellow, so it is showing in yellow. Now, let me apply the sorting part for class. By default, it is in ascending order, right? That is M. That is why M is coming at the end. Now let me go for Z to A. So now M will come first, and hence the yellow color. This is fine. And L will come second, red and black. H is coming third. That is silver, red, and black. So this is how you can sort. Interactive sorting is different from the sorting what you have applied on the groups. Interactive sorting is two ways. That is either ascending or descending. You can go for it. But here it is. You have to hard code either ascending order or descending order. That will be dynamic one. Whenever user wants to see the data in ascending order, he can click that. And if I again clicks the same column header, then it will be in descending order. And the fourth one, this is the very important feature for matrix visibility. The same feature doesn't work well in what you can say in tabular report. If you see for a text box, if you set this visibility property, it was not good. It was showing blank areas. So now let's see what will happen if I set this visibility property here. I have three groups here. One is class, color, and product. First, let me set the property to products. Visibility, I'm showing to hide. If I click on preview, You can see nothing is showing. Why? Because I set the base one as hide. Okay. Now, earlier case, it was the text box which was becoming invisible. Now the complete row will have impact here. If you set the visibility property to hide. Now, if I set this toggle based on different report item, which means expand or collapse based on different report item. What is the parent for this? English product name parent is color. That means the color, if I toggle based on color, which one is color one? Yeah. Then it has to toggle. Let's see how this guy looks. 1 second. Has the toggle item. Toggle items must be text boxes that share the same scope. Sorry. This is not color one. This is color. I have given wrong toggle item. Visibility. This should be color. We have a different sets. Why? Because you have text box here in the table also. That's why even I got confused. Now I have given toggle of color. That means by default it will be hidden, but when I click on plus it will be expanded. This is called toggling. Okay, you have to make use of the visibility and the toggle property to set this expand and collapse feature. This feature is called drill down report. Remember this one, very important, drill down reporting. Now this guy is toggled based on product is toggled based on color. Now let's see how to set color toggling to class. So this is color. I want to set it to toggle based on class selection. So I'm going to visibility, set it to false, and display the same based on toggle item, that is class. So it is as simple as this. Now everything will be hidden except the class. Oops, class is not this one of this scope. I have to give a different thing. Let's see what is the class one. This is class. Fine. The scope is fine. Let me go to the properties of the color, visibility, and I think it has something to do. Let me check this. Okay, fine. Now everything is collapsed except the class. If I click on class, I'll get colors. If I click on color, I'll get products. This is called toggling. In different word, we call it as a drill down reports. It is famous as drill down reports. It is drilling down, and now it is drilling up. So drill down and drill up. So how to set this? The first way, it should be followed from last one to top one. The last one, you have to set the properties to property visibility to hide. Remember, visibility to hide, and then toggle item based on what you want to toggle. So based on color, I want to toggle. By mistake, if you leave this as show, then it will be a different story. It will work in the same way, but with slight difference. If I click on plus, you can see by plus it is showing. I'm not hiding. I'm not setting the visibility to false, right? That is hide, right? So it is showing. If I click now, it will become minus and show. The opposite. Toggling is working fine, but by default it is not invisible. Why? Because I didn't set the invisible property here. So remember, first you have to set the visibility property of the group which needs to be toggled to hide, and then set the toggling item. So this is how you can set this is how you can create drill down reports. This is damn easy. Creating the same in .NET, I suffered a lot. I have worked on .NET to achieve similar kind of report. It's lot hell and performance issues. You have to loop through each and every row, and you have to check so many conditions. You have to check so many. You have to loop through columns. If I have 1,000 records with 100 columns, then it has to loop lot hell of times to get that, to achieve the same requirement, which hit the performance, and then we'd move to SSRS reports. I'm talking about year 2005 and 6. Okay, this is how you can make use of visibility and toggle property to create drill down reports, and you have to create at least 10 drill down reports. Why? Because it is very, very important concept. Now we have seen toggling, that is drill down and drill through. The next one is filters. Again, just like the same filters you set for the data set. We have added some filters to the data set, right? The same option. why we need this option here when we have the same option in the data set? Let's assume you have four reports in your four report items in your report. One is tabular, one is matrix, and another one is list. So you want to show all the data in all the items except to this matrix. Here you want to filter a couple of products. You don't want to show color black. What you have to do? You have to add filter. No other go. You have to add filter in report level, in report item level, not at data set level. If you apply the filter at data set level, it will filter the data and it won't show at all. But if you apply the same, it will apply. If you apply the same for the report item just now as I showed, so it will be applied only for this report, and now you can see it is showing only black color products data. So what I have done, I have applied the data for a particular product. I don't know, particular group. I don't know where I said that. Filters, I think here. So I want to see the products where color is black. So I said this and it is working fine. This is how you can filter the data in your in your report item, matrix report item, if you wish to. Delete. Next one is variables. You can define variables. Let's say Rupesh, let me go for test. Value is 25. I'm defining some variable. I can use this variable somewhere else. I will explain you about these variables whenever we discuss about expressions. Here there will be a field called variables. Using this, you can define and make use of the variables. We will have a discussion about this. Not gonna miss this one. This is very important. And advanced will come back to this advanced also. I'll show you this recursive map, recursive parent when we have data like this. I'll create a table for that. I'm yet to create a table for that. Once I create a table which I can show this recursive parent, I will explain you the same. And I remember what I'm keeping on hold and which I have to revisit. So surely before we end this SSRS session, we will have a look at the things that I'm keeping on hold at this point of time. So this document map is a little bit of useful feature. For example, if you set the document map on English product name, and if you execute this report, a document map or an index kind of thing will be created on your right hand side. You can see. If I click on this, it will take you to the particular page, but it is collapsed now. So a document map, for doing the same, let me expand all the data. Visibility to show, and I'm removing the toggle path, and I'm doing the same for color also, so that everything will be shown by default and toggling will not be there. Now you can see the use of this one. If I click on this, you can see the first one on the page. It has taken me to the particular item. So this is the use of document map. If I click here, it has taken me to the particular item. It is like finding. If you want to go for this product, click on this. It will take you to the particular product to show the sales and tax amount. So this is a useful feature if you want to navigate and see the sales or the performance of a particular product or entity. Then you can go for the document map if you have more products or more entities in your report. So this guy will help you. It's like an index in the book, which will take you to the particular page where the data is present. So this is about the document and the group properties. We discussed about almost all the group properties. Now, when I set the text box, this text box expression to false, visibility to false or hide, what was happening? I'm not going to discuss about this in a couple of sessions. So let me remove this. Let me go to the top. Now I set the visibility property of the sales amount to false. Let's see what will happen. This particular guy is not showing, but this will not be the requirement in most of the cases. In most of the cases, the requirement will be like this. I don't want to show this particular column. So in that case, you are not supposed to use the visibility property of a text box. You have to use the visibility property of the column. If you right click on the column, you can see column visibility. If you click on this, show, hide, or show or hide based on the value. So if you click hide, now the column will not be shown. You can see the sales amount is missing here. Or you can do one thing. You can toggle it based on parameters. I've taken a parameter. Name is test. Okay. I'm giving a name of test to the parameter. Select is the prompt I'm giving. I'm giving two available values. One is yes. The value is yes. And second one, I'm just demonstrating an example. No. If I select yes, then my intention is to show this report. If I select no, I want to hide this. Then in that case, what I have to do? I have to go for an expression. If now you can see the parameter will be available here. The parameter test dot value is equal to yes, then show, else don't show. Now let me show you the magic. I have written a simple expression. So in preview, I have two values. If I select yes, you can see the column is missing. If I select no, it will go and hit the expression and it is showing the column. So this is how you can play with the expressions. Expressions is a vast subject, and what all needs to be discussed as part of expressions. If you click this, and if I go to expression, you have to discuss about different categories that are available, like constants, what is constants and how this one sets, built-in functions, parameters. You know about built-in functions, the one which we use in the report footer, and parameters, fields, data sets, and difference between fields and data sets here, and variables, how to use variables here, and operators. There are so many operators, arithmetic, comparison, and so on. In the same way, so many functions. I'm using if function, right? Condition or inspection or program flow. I think it's program flow. You can see that is also a function, if function. Long back I've shown you how to show alternate colors. I have used a function called row number. You can find the function here, row number. Right? So, and the beauty of this particular expressions page is for all the functions you have a description on the right hand side and a simple example. For example, previous, if you say returns the value of the expression for the previous row of the data, if there is any previous value. So like this. So multi lookup, it's a pretty big one. Lookup set, these are newly added one. Lookup set, and multi lookup. In scope, level. So all these things we are going to discuss in the next session, where we're going to have a complete and clean session on expressions. So this is about the text box properties, and this is about row group properties, and let's see the tablix properties. If you right click on this, the corner, you can see the corner either here or here, you will find tablix properties. So the first one is tablix name. What is the name of the tablix? Tablix is nothing but a report item, a common, a hybrid report item for table format, report form, and matrix format. Table and matrix. So both are having the same report item named tablix, but the only difference is one will have a grouping part, another will not have a grouping part. The table will show only detailed information. I'm giving a tooltip for this testing. So the complete tablix will be having this testing tooltip. If I go anywhere here, let me select yes. If I go anywhere here, you can find the tooltip. If you want to set the tooltip to the complete table or complete report, then you can go for the tooltip on the tablix properties. And data set, this is the data set which I'm using for this tablix. And again, the page breaks. If you want to have page breaks before and after, you can have this one. And row headers and column headers, repeat the rows and keep visible. It is not working. It's not the feature that is working. There is some cheat codes we have to apply to achieve the same. This is a big issue still going on in SSRS side at Microsoft end. There is no straightforward code. Generally, if I check this, it has to repeat the header on the every page, but it won't do that. Okay. I'll show you the cheat code, how to do that. Not now, we'll show you that for sure. Visibility, it is again the complete tablix you want to show or hide. If I said now it is show, if I set it to hide, the complete tablix will be invisible. I'm selecting yes or no, and you can see Nothing is showing. It is generating, but it is not showing. Why? Because I set the tablets property, visibility property to hide. And you know the third one showing on expressions. Based on expressions, you can set the visibility or hide property. And filters, if you want to add a filter, for example, for row wise, we will set some filters in the same way. In this tablets report, I want to see only when color is equal to black. If you want to filter at tablets level, let me set a default value. Why? Because I'm giving it again and again. I'll give default as no. By default it will be taken and then report will be generated. No is taken. Now if you see only black color products are showing. Why? Because I applied a filter at tablets level. For matrix I have a filter option on groups, but for tablets, or sorry, for tabular, I can make use of the tablets filter property. So here I set the color to black and I can remove it. And sorting. How you want to sort these tablets? I want to sort these tablets based on color from Z to A. Let's see how this guy works. This is sorting based on color. Starting from yellow and you will get silver, red, blue, black and so on. So this is the different, these are the different properties we have at the tablets level, and we discussed about lot of properties in today's session. That is tablets properties, group properties and text box properties. The same group properties, whatever the group properties we had for matrix row groups will be applied. The same set of properties will be there for column groups. So that's it for this session, and as we discussed a lot about the different properties we have, you need good enough time to practice all this stuff. If you don't practice all this stuff, then the next sessions what we're going to discuss, the topics, all topics in the next sessions will be aliens to you. You can't understand the concepts, whatever we're going to discuss in next session. So better I advise you guys to practice the things before coming to the next session. If you fail to practice, then it will be a very big overhead for you when the class sessions progress. So, and you don't understand anything what we're going to discuss from next session. In next session, we are going to discuss only about expressions. It's only about expressions, the very, very, very important one. Once it is completed, and we will jump back to the report items, the list, rectangle, image, sub report in one session, and charts, gauges in two more sessions. And these are the newly added one. We can or we cannot. I mean, it depends on our time. So in 3 to 4 sessions, we are gonna end this SSRS. So I'm repeating the same again. You need to practice the stuff before coming to the next session, or else it will be very difficult for you to understand whatever we're going to discuss in next session, that is about expressions. Thank you very much.